let's get back into the swing of things. So I didn't intend to cast this game. I was just randomly browsing my League client and I found a live active game and I thought I just said to myself, you know what I haven't done in a long time? Cast a game. So I'm casting a game. That's all. I was in the middle of working on a really long video project because I wanted to try storyboarding something for the first time, like actually having a good script, actually storyboarding something, making up an element, Trinamir smacking the hell out of Fiora. He's not gonna win this, right? There's no way level 1 Trin wins unless Sinjao jumps into help. Ooh, nice flash juke away. Trinamir's just gonna blow both sums, allows the Fiora just to stay safe. Both top laners losing their sums and they're gonna call it off there. But anyway, I was in the middle of scripting a massive storyboarded video essay. So I had the Audacity busted out, I was on Vegas Pro. And then I just decided to check my League client and said, you know, while I have OBS out, while I have everything out, I might as well cast a solo queue game. So this solo queue game is played in Master Tier. And it features some of the best that NA has to offer, or at least near the best of the best that NA has to offer. So we'll run down the matchups. We're gonna have Tryndamere against Fiora top lane, neither of which have their summoner spells now. The jungle matchup is Sinjao against Lee Sin, Zoe against Lissandra mid, and we have our Syra going up against the Draven Maokai. So just to get the elephant out of the room, it's been like, what, months since I last casted the League of Legends game? No, I didn't quit the game. It's just, I mean, on my channel, the contents over the past 30 videos have been predominantly not League of Legends. The priorities have shifted for me, but League is still very much an active game I play, and it doesn't feel fair to make like, what, 30 videos in a row without at least coming back to cast a game or so. Now Lissandra is going to walk away. Probably. Oh, the counter ignite will get the trade kill, but Zoe does walk away with the first blood. Good walking around the minions to block the paddle star, but it's not going to be enough. Top lane also gets ganked, and pure depression, or just depression, kills off the Fiora in the 1v1. So it's definitely been a while. I think the last League game I cast was Clash a month and a half ago? No, way more than that. Easily 2 or 3 months now. I will have to go back and check. I have actually made attempts to upload League stuff, but because League is something that I always cast and upload live, and because I've actually shifted a lot of my recording scenes, a lot of my recording presets, they've changed from being a League game to something else. There have been times where I recorded 2 or 3 League stuff, and then I noticed, oh, my audio wasn't on. Oh, my setup was different. And I just kind of had to scrap the footage because I was casting an entire live game without realizing that something just wasn't registering. And it sucks when you have to abandon footage like that, but it happened. This time I made sure to triple check. All of my setups are indeed correct before jumping in. Zoe did steal away a cleanse. Very good against the Lissandra. The only out to a lot of her lockdown. But Lissandra's not level 6 yet, not that important. All in coming down here from the Draven and the Maokai. They are going to kill off the Varus and they're going to collect the bounty. Draven gets a very early cash in. Doesn't quite show how much money he cashed out with, but there's another game coming down. Draven, happy to die here. He just recently cashed out, so not too much gold loss here. Maokai slowly running back to his tower, gets some regen with the Time Warp Tonic, and he survives by the skin of his teeth. Well done. So he's going to pop the cleanse just to summon 3 bubbles to do more damage, but here comes the Lee Sin coming in for a gank. The kicks are coming in, the drowsy is there, the Lee Sin has fallen asleep, but he lands the Sonic Wave. That means the resonating strike comes through right after. Zoe gets taken down. Second death for the mid laner here. Very proactive movements here by the Lee Sin. Neither jungler is really slacking here. 3 to 4 in the early game, pretty even so far. Fiora going to set up the parry, blocks I think 1 auto attack and the exhaust goes down. Tryndamere squarely losing his fight. He's not level 6 yet. He can't cheat death. He is going to escape with his life with Spinning Slash, but he squarely lost that trade and over 14 CS down. That's 2 whole minion waves. He may be forced to recall. It's not really a good situation. If Fiora can dive him with 2 auto attacks and kill him off there, might be risky, but it's possible. Without exhaust lockdown, it might be a bit harder. But Trinimir's gonna have to suffer a little bit, going to miss a lot more CS than he normally would under this tower with that little HP. Maokai taking a chunk of poke, falling to very low health. Meanwhile, top lane, they're not gonna let the Fiora go. Xin Zhao goes for the sweep. Fiora lunges away, gets the counter, but no stun. No CC was dropped during it. Lee Sin comes in for a counter gank. This is a 2v2, but both top laners are pretty wounded and nobody is opting into this. Wind Becomes Lightning will not hit the sweet spot. That means Fiora and Lee Sin are free to go. Tryndamere gets some breathing room there in that top lane. Varus and Zyra are still pushing up. Maokai, after taking that huge chunk of poke, can't really recall in this situation. You just kind of have to take it. Just hope that the minion wave crashes in. Zoe waits out the full duration of the sleep, buys some time for cooldowns. Beautiful full burst. Solo kills the Lissandra. Meanwhile, top lane, the Fiora just now trying to make her way back. She wants the kill, but no! The knockup! It interrupts the lunge halfway through. The plays die. And Xin Zhao gets the tank. That's a massive kill. Look at that huge minion wave being denied. Oh, Fiora's life just got a lot harder. Tryndamere even hit 6 off that gank, so now he's got a level lead as well. And here comes the Lee Sin. They're going for a gank. Stand aside was the flash. Comes through. One more axe will get the kill. And there it is. Draven cashes in yet again. Very scary prospect here. Draven has cashed in twice now. Zyra just has to kind of walk away. Draven can't press the issue any further with that little mana. Zyra can effectively just summon a few plants and keep him at bay. Now the game suddenly swung the other way. These little advantages stack up huge and blue team is now in the driver's seat. And Fiora, not level 6 yet. She's gonna hit level 6 off that wave. Most likely. Is that 5 or 6? It's so hard to read. Look at this number up here. Yeah, she is still level 5. Now red team does secure the Mountain Drake. Fiora needs to hit level 6. Tryndamere does have a level lead now. It does suck as a top laner. It takes one bad gank when your wave's pushed up, and the level lead is so hard to recover from. Tryndamere going to go back. First item's the boots as is standard, and then picks up Executioner's Calling. Lissandra flashing for the Aeon, but she takes the call a little bit too early. The claw didn't reach Zoe, missing that one last chunk of damage, jumping the gun a bit. That could have been a very easy kill, but she reactivated the claw. And Zoe walks away. Even, I think she picked up Lissandra's flash as well. I can't be sure, I didn't get a good look at her. Now it's 5-5. And Tryndamere, one level up. Now they do both have their ultimates. However, Fiora Grand Challenge is really hard to out-tank. Now Zoe does have the Strike Breaker. That extra damage might be what she needs. She activates it, and there it is. The burst damage comes through, and she pops the Lissandra. No mana remaining on the Lissandra to effectively fight the Zoe, and there's a very dead Zyra as well. Zyra pings out the water skill. Wondering why he didn't pop it, and he really should have. That seemed like it was very well the last axe Draven was gonna throw. Zyra was safely out of range after that. Tryndamere does have everything up. He could force a dive onto this Fiora. Very, very effective at tower diving with the Tryndamere kit. And this massive wave being shoved up. Xin Zhao's just going to pose for the photo. And this Fiora is not long for this world, let's say. The parry not effective. Doesn't stop the knockup. Xin Zhao holds his third auto. They do get this successful dive off. Tryndamere didn't even have to pop his ultimate. And there is his ultimate now. The Lee Sin just realizes that the Tryndamere did not press R. So he walks into his death as well. Oh, this top lane is looking very, very doomed very quickly. Look at it. Yet another massive minion wave just being thrown away to the tower. How big is this advantage now? That is monstrous. 1600 gold. Are you kidding me? It's almost an unrecoverable gap from here. Xin Zhao is going to panic all the way. Lissandra is going to come up to bail. Ooh, the Xin Zhao blocks the hit, but it leaves the free kill to the Fiora. Fiora gets 700 gold in her pockets. Very well needed for her situation. And the Draven walks up a little bit too far. Zyra flashes out, full combos him. Lissandra has to self out, but she's asleep. At the same time, she's in stasis. Tryndamere spins over, gets the freest kill of his life. Meanwhile, the Maokai coming down here with the Lee Sin. The freaking punch! puts the Zyra a little bit too far back, and the Lee Sin misses his Sonic Wave. It doesn't matter, the kill comes through regardless. A very unfortunate punch. Doesn't really soil the kill, so no harm done. What is Maokai's Q name? It's not Punch. That's what people call it. Like, I call it Punch, but it's called like... What is it called? Bramble Smash! Yes. Yes. You know, there was a Sporkle quiz on like, can you name every champion by their Q ability? I will not do very well at that. I don't actually know a lot of Q spells. Granted, that Sporkle quiz is old. It's got like 100 something, whereas the pool is like, what now? 150 something champions in the game? There's an explosive trade coming out. So far, it is a 2-for-1. But Lissandra shows up, and the spirits are spawning. It's dissuading blue team from committing any further. Now the Fiora is kind of being sent on the run. The Tryndamere first items, the Mortal Reminder. He is very strong right now, swinging away at the minion wave. It's going to be a tall order for the Fiora to beat him. Reposting the wrong way as well, no slow, which means this Fiora is pretty damn dead. She pops a grand challenge, going for the 4-mark miracle proc, not going to get it, only hits 3. And Tryndamere dunks on her, killing her for the 4th time. Draven comes in, he's going to feast on the plant lady. He has turned vegetarian. Gets about 81 gold cash out if I'm not mistaken. Not a lot, but still, he does have quite a pretty what's that statement? What's that saying? A pretty penny in his pockets, something like that. Now Lissandra gets massive bursted by the paddle star on top of the sleep. Zoe takes her down. It is very evident right now that blue team's top and mid lanes are miles ahead of their solo lane counterparts. And Draven doesn't actually have that much of a gold lead either. It's only 500 ahead, which means that this could be disastrous. Lee Sin ultimate disengages. Tryndamere pops the Undying Rage to stay alive from the tower, and now the push continues. Red team have no defenders to answer this herald. They're just going to let this fall. 2 plays down. 12 minutes in, that's already 2 towers taken for blue team. Things are just going from bad to worse. Herald's gonna rear up for a second charge. And Tryndamere's staying. He wants to kill another tower. No, he can't get it. He is just going to leave. Xin Zhao going for the Infernal Drake, tying up the Drake score, which is pretty bad. The objectives are being tied up while blue team is asserting so much more map control than red. It's going to make any future objective fights a lot more harder. Lee Sin's going for a kill. Blue team secures the Drake. Will the reinforcements be coming in? The answer is yes, but Lee Sin throws his body in just to kill the Varus. Will the reinforcements arrive in time? Xin Zhao knows that things may have gone south, but he does kill off the Lee Sin. He needs one more charge to get the Draven, and he does do it. Double kill going over, and now it's just a squishy support. He has very little damage. Can he do it? Yes, the Bramble Smash gets the converted kill. It is overall a 3-for-2, I believe, because I think Zyra died at the start. But I think red teams may have dropped a little bit too many bodies than they wanted to. The Xin Zhao got a lot more value for what could have been a wash. And the Tryndamere now 2 full levels ahead of the Fiora. And like the top lane state of being snowballed in levels is kind of disgusting. Like, what do you even do as Fiora from this point onwards? Granted, you shouldn't launch forward like that, but there's really not a lot you can do. Lissandra's going to opt to self-ult, and the Bramble does miss her. It doesn't matter, as the follow-up damage is enough to kill the Lissandra. Meanwhile, top lane Fiora also dies 1v1, but that's honestly not a surprise if you just look at this item differential. It is like a completed item against Iron Whip, Spike, and the Phage. It's pretty bad, and not to mention the 2-level advantage here. Tryndamere is so fast at his attack speed. Tryndamere is just going to scare off anyone who tries to 1v1 him. He's a little bit too strong for that at this stage in the game. Maokai gonna get caught out in the river here as well. The piercing arrow finds him and the tree falls. 6,000 gold ahead at 14 minutes in is a pretty monumental lead. This does seem like it will be a pretty quick game here. Like when these picks on the solo lanes in blue team, like the entire top half rather, Zoe, Xin Zhao, Tryndamere, when these champions start to get going, it is very hard to stop. It's especially very hard to stop with a lineup like red teams where you lack hard disengage, you lack hard peel. Granted, Lissandra has very potent single target lockdown, but there's way too many threats now. You can only lock down one of Tryndamere, or Zoe, or Sinjao. And the other two are free to just run through the rest of your team. Draven is not the best at self-PO, and when too many people get onto him, he's just kinda done. Maokai, somewhat the same story. Granted, he can definitely disengage off a whole team, but these guys are a little bit too strong for that at this stage in the game. Tryndamere makes mincemeat out of Lissandra in the bottom lane, and Fiora falls asleep to a bubble on top. Once again, the solo laners are just donating kills. They are simply too far behind at this stage in the game to be useful. And if you're trying to 1-3-1 this, they just become free food to the solo laners. They just need to be matched in the 1-3-1, and then it becomes a 0-3-0 real quick. Now Tryndamere gonna spin over the wall, and the Draven just pooped himself watching a big barbarian man comes through. The Zyra burn does take care of business as Draven falls. Maokai will be fine, the Lee Sin is there to get him out. But Lissandra, 3 levels down from her opposing mid laner, but he may have found a kill. Although, that's a misclick. You probably should have ulted the Zoe. I think that was out of tower range as well. Probably should have just ulted the Zoe. Oh, that's an overstep actually. Lissandra does get one back. Zoe turns her brains off and goes for a very courageous paddle star, going to get herself killed there. Although at this stage, getting that kind of shutdown may be too little too late. Remember, Fiora's single kill is actually a 700 gold shutdown, but honestly it doesn't do her that much. Lee Sin dashes out of the Stranglestorm, but fails a flash kick and kicks the Tryndamere the other way from where he was intending. Flashing a little bit too late. But he does have a very stylish safeguard out of the Stranglestorm knockup and then flies back in for a kill. Flubs the combo right after and kicks the Tryndamere into himself, which is honestly a pretty rare combo fail. Now 8,000 on almost 9,000 gold ahead. Once again, Tryndamere puts on a horror movie show, and the Draven just throws out 3 axes from his bag, but couldn't really catch any of them when there's a guy smacking you. A Fiora, oh, not sure what that was about. Just going to lose her flash, and Zoe collects a free one, flashing over the wall to chase her down. And Tryndamere is just going to start the split push. He can pretty much ignore this Lee Sin, and the Lee Sin is going to Q out. There's the Q pop flash after the Lee Sin. He does get that solo kill, and now it's just one Maokai coming to contend with him. With the Ghost Pop, he is not catchable, so he's just going to make his way out. Zoe guessing with the Paddle Star almost does nail it, and the blind bubble will find his mark. The sleep did time out, but it doesn't matter. The bonus damage is still there. However, oh, that was so close. The electrocute finishes off the Lissandra while the lockdown has happened. That auto was almost mid-air, man. That could have been the trade kill, or even a solo kill in Lissandra's favor, but the electrocute turns the tables. Zoe almost actually full dies to the Lissandra combo. Tryndamere does have Quick Blaze up, and Gale Force, and Mortal Reminder. He has 2 whole items up on the Fiora. That's an absurd amount of gold differential. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, it's almost double of what Fiora has. My goodness. Now the Draven, he really wants the Zoe. He's going to get it too. 1 axe to the face, he does get it. Is there a shutdown? Doesn't seem like there is. Meanwhile, the Sinjao is going to come up as well, but he's currently alone. The Zyra's called out on transit to help this Sinjao. He's not going to make it in time, and the conveyor belt is happening. The next one to go is in fact the Varus. Meanwhile, bot lane, Tryndamere, the only player on blue team finding success so far. He is going to complete the split push, but the rest of his team is dead on the top half. That's a 4-for-1, all things considered, and Fiora just kind of suicided into the Tryndamere. Well, granted, like, you can't get away from the Tryndamere, would be the more apt term. Undying Rage, very close to coming back up. Lissandra, does she have the damage to do it? Before it, no! The spinning slash and the Triumph heal. And now Undying Rage is back up. So yeah, he's for sure not dying. 9-0 and 5. Wowee. Draven's just going to slowly walk away from the scene. They did find a really good fight. Red team conveyor belted in the worst time possible and just kind of handed the 4 kills away. It does do wonders for the goal differential. It's back down to only a 6k deficit. Only, but you know, it was like what, 10k a while ago? So that's a pretty massive goal swing. I'm not gonna go ahead and call it a shift in momentum because I think blue team is still very much in the driver's position, especially because the Tryndamere was still wreaking havoc in the bot lane. There's still a power vacuum there. There's so much pressure in bot that red team can't really group up and make anything useful off the kills they just found. Tryndamere is just going to get a casual solo kill? No, he's just going to walk away. Good discipline, holding his ultimate, knowing that he's not dead. Lee Sin did Q the wrong way, granted. And they're just going to help themselves with Baron. This is something that red team has no hope of contesting, and they're just not going to try. 20.5 minutes in. This blue team is gonna go, well, this Baron is gonna go blue team's way, rather. They're just gonna help themselves. So he grabs a quick blue buff on her way back to base as well, and this might very well be a death knell here for red team. They found one miracle fight without the Tryndamere. They quite literally need to do it again. Will Star was here though. Lee Sin gets a solo kill onto the Zyra, but the plants kill the Scuttle! Oh, he would have really liked to get both there. The Fiora slow to a crawl because she got turned into a chicken. Or poultry shout. That's a meme from back in like what, season 2? Tryndamere's poultry shout. "21.5 minutes. I mean, red team is, they did throw off a surrender vote when they hit 20 minutes, but only one person thought that they should. So they still do believe in the ability to lock down the enemies, and that's a pretty good start. They do get a catch onto the Zoe, but there's a lot more trouble heading down mid. Baron plus Herald is a very difficult charge to stop, and they only have their bot lane defending mid. Tryndamere up top, poultry shout lands. Herald rearing up for a charge onto the inhibitor, and he's going to get it as well. Dead inhibitor here. Herald does die, but that's a very good Baron push. Top lane loses a tower and mid lane loses one as well as the inhibitor. Cloud Drake is spawning. This will put blue team at soul point if they can grab it. They do have a stranglehold on the whole map. Red team is corralled into their base. Very little they can do in the present moment to get out. Maokai is wrapping around. They want this Tryndamere. I'm not sure about this. He's level 16. It's going to be super hard to kill. The root, the lockdown is happening. And there's the ghost being popped as well as the undying rage. He's just going to make his way out of there. And the chains of corruption. It saves the Tryndamere. He runs away at Mach 5. Nobody can catch him. Fiora's gonna dash over, gets the launcher. Grand challenge has been issued. Can she get it? The answer might be yes, she can indeed. The Zoe winds up the paddle star, throws it onto the Draven's face, and pops the shield bow, but it's not gonna be enough. Meanwhile, they're top and bot. They're both being crushed. Tryndamere's never left. Mid lane committed with all 5 members means that their sides are gonna fall swiftly. Tryndamere's ultimate about half off cooldown. Lissandra's coming in for the lockdown. She does have everything up. Can she do it? There's the ultimate. There's a lockdown. Tryndamere's finally being killed off. Red team secures the dragon as well. And the bot lane's being saved by the Fiora. And it seems like they weathered the worst of it. Zyra's gonna flash over. Gets herself a kill on the AD carry. Recalling in the terrible spot there. And now it's just the Maokai and the Lee Sin. They're coming in to kill the Xin Zhao. Can they make this kill happen? Enhanced sapping. Toss into the brush. But the stopwatch, it doesn't buy enough time. The sapping blows up on him anyway. However, Maokai's falling low. Dragon's Rage saves him. Xin Zhao goes down. And now the Zyra is running away. But there is a beautiful Sonic Wave. The resonating strike connects. Oh, the standstill juke forces the Lee Sin flash over the wall. And Zyra will instead be picked up by the Fiora. Kill score is evening up, however, evening up the kill score is simply not enough. You're still down 4k, you're still down so much of your base. This momentum is not going away. I will say, however, killing the Tryndamere off even once, and who got that kill? Lissandra, right? Lissandra getting 1,000 gold. That's nothing to sneeze at. She's got Mythic, she's got Rabadon, she does a ton of burst. Like the Zoe right there, what are you doing? Just going to portal jump forward and get yourself killed. Oh man, the blue team solo laners are throwing. They're chucking the game out the window. And the Tryndamere lockdown as well. He's gonna spinning slash in. He wants to find a kill. And there's a Lissandra lockdown. Can they make it happen? Yes, they can! Tryndamere's bursted. Oh, this is suddenly very bad for blue team. Now granted, red team can't keep up this fight. Lissandra is dot house. She has no burst left. Lee Sin's over the wall. He still wants to make this happen. The parry was the stun. Desire's been locked up. Lee Sin very cleverly does not jump into the middle of the action. He might get himself killed. That's 3 bodies for nothing. The score is evened up. The gold lead is coming back. Oh, I expected the stomp, but this is super interesting now. I'm curious where this game goes from here. Granted, red team can still lose the game very easily. It takes one mistake. It takes blue team not throwing for one fight. And very easily this game is still totally lost here for red team. Fiora is still more or less irrelevant. She's built Randuin's. She can't go damage this game. She's built Gore Drinker Randuin's for sustain. Going damage is just a death sentence. She's so far behind. But Lissandra's coming back. She may only have 5 kills. And well, Zoe's scoreline is not looking that much better suddenly. And surrender vote for blue team. They're the ones surrendering now. Lee Sin. Oh, gonna get bubbled up. Fall asleep. Is it a one shot? No. He's a little bit too fed for that. Granted, he has no MR, but he has enough health to tank it. But yeah, Lissandra, her scoreline might look pitiful, but honestly, Zoe's scoreline is not that much better, and most of Lissandra's kills are super valuable high goal shutdowns. And once again, Tryndamere goes for an assassination. It's gonna fail, and Fiora this time emboldened is actually gonna chase after him. But meanwhile, top lane, there's an assassination attempt. It goes haywire totally, and Zoe gets a counter kill with the ignite. A terrible time to die as well, as Baron Nashor is up, and they have made red team may have just delivered a second Baron straight to blue team's doorsteps. That is quite possibly the worst time to die as the jungler. Words are being dropped. They see this being done. Blue team's not even gonna try to clear that pink word. It's gonna be too much of a time investment. However, red team doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to contest. The call is, I mean, the clever call is to just let this go. You don't have the resources to fight this. Nature's Grasp will come out, but the tree branches are just too slow to really make anything productive happen. And there's a Tryndamere. He's going for another assassination, but Lissandra, she's gonna claw. Ooh, but Tryndamere's not gonna elect to stay because he's unaware of where the rest of red team is. That's a fibbed combo though. Lissandra lost her only way of escape. Tryndamere could have stayed and killed her. He does back off as he doesn't quite know where the rest of red team is. Man, oh man. I mean, the reality is the rest of red team were so far away. It would have been hard for him. Like, it would have been hard for Lissandra to survive after that. She has no Zayas. She's forsaken all manners of defense just to get as much burst as she possibly can, because that's honestly the right call. You need to kill one person. You need to kill their threat target before they can do anything totally nasty. That long range bubble not gonna connect on the Draven. And speaking of the Draven, he's almost full build. Lissandra has her flash. Meanwhile, Fiora is gonna recall in the brush and just watching the Tryndamere farm up. Dragon is also blue team's. Red team need to rear themselves back. Blindly committing to any objective is a surefire way to lose the game. That one Lee Sin kill, it kind of shut down so much of the momentum that red team had built up. And there's a Maokai. He may be caught out here. The Nature's Grasp has happened. He is going to be killed off here. That's going to be Varus ult committed as well as the Xin Zhao. But can the rest of red team keep up the fight? The answer is probably no. Maokai pressed all his buttons right before he died. That's honestly not enough lockdown, although the Lissandra, it might be enough! It does proc the GA, she's gonna trade 1 for now. And Tryndamere, the grand challenge has been issued and completed. He's been booted out of the camp. But meanwhile, Draven, nobody's looking after the Draven! He's gonna be killed off! And now it's just the Fiora and the Lee Sin. What can they really do? The answer is not a lot, and the Fiora not gonna be able to 1v4 this, and that's the end of the game. That is so many dead right inside red team space. A full ace coming out. Maokai's up in 4, but that's not gonna be enough. The next relevant revival is in 20 seconds, and they can end the game twice over within that period of time, and that's gonna be it. Blue team almost chucking the game out the window. going to take it back and secure the victory.